But you also brought us back to a really, really pivotal moment in your life. And you also said with clarity that you learned the value of investing in yourself and wearing the oxygen mask for yourself through that experience. What did life look like for you before that?
A great question, Brian. Life for me was grinding, right? Life for me was the hamster wheel, right? Life for me was saying yes to everyone else and saying no to myself. Life for me was allowing Mr. and Mrs. Distraction to distract me from my purpose, from my assignment, and allowing me to, if you look at the left side of my face, it is paralyzed. And it's paralyzed because I was diagnosed with Bell palsy,
Okay.
and it's still paralyzed. So life for me was worry, stress, and being burnt out.
You ran a really successful men's fashion brand for a number of years. What got you into fashion, and what were the one or two core lessons that you learned around your time in that field?
I like clothes. I like to dress, right?
Hey, you know what? You look good when you feel good when your threads aren't hanging right, don't they?
Indeed, indeed, indeed. So I began to watch several other entrepreneurs such as Damon John and Sean John and Jay-Z go into this space. And I saw the success that they were having. And I also realized that, you know what, I need to step into this space. I need to start creating at the moment, at the time, I was working in telecommunications. So I realized that I needed to start creating multiple streams of income. I needed to start creating passive income. So that led me into creating a 10-year exit strategy.
Told me you didn't even get into the field that gave you financial freedom until you were 41. And in only
Indeed.
a decade, you were able to put yourself in that place. So, what was existing before fashion? So, you only had to work in it for 10 years before you were financially free.
So I was in telecommunications prior to even thinking of that space. And again, seeing things occur in my life, watching my father take his last breath. Again, I keep referencing that and
Yeah.
overemphasizing that because it was so much a pivotal moment in my life that I
Yeah.
knew I had to initiate some type of change, right? And I realized that I was doing the opposite. I was doing instead of applying the 80-20 principle, right? And I was giving all of my time to my day job.
Yeah.
So I end up saying that I need to get out of my own way. I need to get off the struggle bus. I need to start applying the 80-20 principle.
I see that quote behind you, right? When focus is your first name, everything else will follow. Help me understand your definition of focus. What are the lessons you learned that you use today to hone your focus?
I'll speak to this point. We are being raised to be poor and in debt, right? And poor and in debt. And how that applies to us is that we have the 40-40-40 plan, right? So the 40-40-40 plan consists of 40 hours a week, 40 years of your life, and you retire with 40% of your income. And you're trying to survive 100% of the time. That is not sustainable.
Yeah, that math doesn't work.
That math does not work. So what we have to do, and to your point, to your question about the focus, what I end up doing is I started applying the 80-20 rule.